What's the best Wi-Fi name you've seen? Crack Shack. Which wasn't exactly creative, but we later found out that the owners were arrested for selling drugs. Edit. No. It was not a restaurant. We don't have a restaurant chain named Crack Shack in my state. My younger brother set his mobile hotspot to hot singles in your area. And I'm never gonna get over it. I had a roommate that named ours Batlin and Login. I always thought that was clever. We're not allowed to have our own routers on campus, so I named mine AT&T Mobile Hotspot. For the longest time, I had my phone's hotspot name as Police Surveillance Tricycle. Turns out, it's a good way to get some people paranoid and have others amused over the whole thing when having it active during classes. I fucked Jenny. Landlord's wife. I had a friend who had that. Hated his landlord, but the landlord couldn't find out which tenant was broadcasting it. The friend had it hooked up to a battery so the landlord couldn't cut the power to find out whose it was. Rebellious Amish family. My favorite is, it's on the back of the router. Edit. On the back of the router it would say, ask my name for password. I install internet etc. for a living. Best one I ever came up with was for the Delta Phi sorority. Delta Wi-Fi, they loved it. Was at a church and some neighbor had. Jesus has left the building. One of my sons, probably about 12 or 13 at the time, friend's father said added a Wi-Fi channel named Free Internet Porn. When his son had a birthday sleepover, the father then sat outside the area where they were sleeping and listened to them spend hours trying to figure out how to connect. My son called me that night asking how to connect to a Wi-Fi channel when you don't know the password because his friend forgot their password. I told him the only way was to guess. Evidently it kept them busy and out of trouble all night. In my last apartment I named my Wi-Fi New England Clam Router. Always liked that one. Wu-Tang LAN. We don't have Wi-Fi. Password was I don't know. Hilarious when anyone asked him how to get on his Wi-Fi. It was like a vaudeville routine. Land Rover. This LAN is my LAN. My dad's a huge fan of the Matrix and calls every router we've ever had the Nebuchadnezzar. Lord of the Pings. Password Legolas. Password. The password was Wi-Fi. Malware. X. Protected CEX. And unprotected CEX. For a British electronics store called CEX. Chipotle guest. There's no Chipotle nearby. I caused a small family panic when I named it. Disconnected. Edit. Thank you guys for so much more evil ideas and suggestions. My family will suffer more and I'll burn in hell for sure. Thanks. My favorite was Mom, click here for internet. Cisco Inferno. Totally safe Wi-Fi. No spyware. Promise. And let it open. Without password. I was in the back of a bus and the Wi-Fi name was Say Chicken Nuggets. I yelled, Chicken Nuggets, to the front of the bus. Someone replied, no spaces. I didn't get it at first but after like 5 minutes I was like, wait, put in Chicken Nuggets for the password and I was in. My neighbor had two bros chillin' in a hot tub. When my grandma was getting her Wi-Fi set up, we asked her what she'd say to people who asked for her Wi-Fi. She said that she would tell them to go to hell. So that's now her password. So whenever people ask for the Wi-Fi password, she tells them, go to hell. You kids get off my LAN. Router, I hardly know her, was my all-time favorite. Troy and Abed in the modem. Go back to California. When I had just moved to Texas. And had CA plates on my car still. My phone's hotspot is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. 5G coronavirus test number 1 strength. 500%. Free Wi-Fi. That's what she SSID. Who the hell is stealing my Wi-Fi? Silence of the LAN is a top contender for me. House LA Nister. When my brother was in the Air Force Reserve, I went to his house one day and say his Wi-Fi name was LAN of the Free. Is this the Krusty Krab? The password was, no, this is Patrick. It burns when I pee. The land before time. Tell my Wi-Fi love her. There is no Wi-Fi. That bar owner was a legend. 5G_COVID-19_ test. Was on a 5 GHz channel. The promised land. I like mine. I have a dual-band router with 4 GHz and 5 GHz. They are named Bees. Benjamin Frank Lan and Vladimir Routin. My neighbors in college had one called Uncle Touchy's Puzzle Basement. The best Wi-Fi name that I found led me on an elaborate adventure. It was called Help Girl Kidnapped Floor 9 Apt 30C. On the door of that apartment was a post-it note that instructed me to go into the basement where there was a stash of free marshmallows. Grabbed enough to add into a cup of white hot chocolate. Connecto Patronum. Mine was I Am Iron Land. For a while. Fire Nation. Because my folks are always fighting. The most notable, and my least favorite, I Can Hear You Masturbating. I lived in an apartment with thin walls. I was really self-conscious after that. Edit. Thanks for the awards and laughs. Stay safe, fellow Redditors. Used to live in a rough neighborhood with lots of addicts. Husband set ours to surveillance van number 1. Connecting. My mom's friend had someone mooching off his Wi-Fi, so he changed the name a passcode. He made the name Blue Balls and the passcode Fuck You Jim, and I have the so much respect for this man. Mine when I moved into my friend's house was not a meth lab. We lived in Muncie, in the meth capital of the state, and had the cops knock once. My dad named our Wi-Fi Money Pit growing up. He was reluctant to have to pay for Wi-Fi as opposed to our dial-up. He's gone now, but I still name my own Wi-Fi Money Pit because of him. It makes me happy. Girls Gone Wireless. Abraham Linksys. I mean mine is Land Solo, which is pretty great. Chance the Router. I was driving around Europe the summer of 2008, and the only way I had to access the internet was through internet cafes or connecting my laptop to random open Wi-Fis. One night I parked in a somewhat secluded area to sleep and got horny, so I grabbed my laptop and did a Wi-Fi search. Found one and it was named Say Nicked Higher, meaning, don't stay here, or, don't be here. Noped really fast away from that spot. Hide yo kids, hide yo Wi-Fi. Mordor. It was password protected. One does not simply log into Mordor. I peg on the first date. It was an apartment complex, so there were a lot of weird ones, but that one made me exhale air from my nose more than the others. There's one in my neighborhood called something like Airdrop Nudes for Internet. L. Knock 5 times for head. Apt 507. I love San Francisco. I once renamed by Bluetooth, Auken Prefreak True, which translates to no device detected. Then 2 weeks later spent 45 minutes cursing my phone for not being detectable. Then it hit me. I've played myself. A Wi-Fi has no name. I am under your bed. And I look at you while you are asleep. Not the Wi-Fi you're looking for. Mine is Panic. At the Cisco. Edit. Holy crap. Baby's first silver. Thank you. Edit 2 Electric Boogaloo. Baby's first gold. Thank you. Dad, click here. The frat house across the street from me. It's not gay. It's brotherhood. Look ma, no wires. Mine is Toilet Cam 2. I live in a big apartment complex. I really hope it has caused some sleepless nights. Our home Wi-Fi is Lord Voldemortem. No regrets. I'm a fan of Bill Y. The Science Fi. I was in an Apple store and saw Carl's newer fancy fucking phone. I'm happy for Carl. Why fight when it's clear we have such a strong connection? My dad named ours Nacho Wi-Fi because we had neighbors who moved in who were stealing our Wi-Fi. They had kids our age and I was hanging out with one of them. When they said they had Wi-Fi, I said, oh how? And they said that no one from the Wi-Fi company came by. But they still managed to get some from somewhere. He didn't know where. Turns out his parents were using our Wi-Fi and not telling them because they didn't want them telling us, and us telling our parents. Us being me and my little brother. My dad said the Wi-Fi had been slower. I told him what the kid said and he immediately locked the Wi-Fi. We didn't know there wasn't a password set on it. So then came the dad joke Wi-Fi name. Nacho Wi-Fi. For those who don't get it. Not your Wi-Fi. Nacho Wi-Fi. I went from 4 karma to 10k karma because my dad is a practical jokester who had the opportunity to use a dad joke. And did so amazingly. Thank you, Reddit. Martin Router King. My neighbor completely ruined the ending of Infinity War for me. Since he was beginning to watch Game of Thrones and I was spiteful, I changed my Wi-Fi networks to an. I'm not proud of it, but it did give some small satisfaction. Edit. Messed up a spoiler. Scream. Penis. For password. Super slow. When I hovered over the Wi-Fi button in Windows, the pop-up said, super slow internet access. I thought that was pretty cool. I was at an airport and someone's hotspot name was Yell Nice Rack for password. $3.99 per minute. That's my personal hotspot name always. My family were staying in Philadelphia for a couple days and were staying in an Airbnb apartment. One Wi-Fi said, I know apartment number is an illegal Airbnb. Other were just things like potato salad and random shit. 5 grams tower signal. Drives Karens crazy. Our Wi-Fi name. I see you shiver with Antisi. Ours is the Knights Who Say Knee. My friend named her hotspot Yell Leroy Jenkins for password. It's really fun to turn it on at a XC meet. Our neighbors was 1 wiener and 2 pussies. They had a dachshund and 2 cats. My internet disconnected today and when I went to reconnect it I saw someone's Wi-Fi named Stay Home. 5 grams tower test. Dunder Mifflin. For a house with 6 female roommates. 12 boobs. Gonna throw my hat in the ring. I've been rocking happy Wi-Fi happy li-fi since we bought our house 5 years ago. My new neighbor was impressed. My favorite was the guy goes into a bar and asks for the Wi-Fi password. The bartender says, you have to buy a drink first. The guy says, okay, and gives the bartender $5. Then he says, okay, what's the password? The bartender says, you have to buy a drink first. All lowercase, no spaces. A neighbor of mine had theirs called 2 girls, 1 router. Edit. Damn, as if the most upvotes I've received has been because of a feckin' Wi-Fi password, which is an ancient sin to Google.